What's up, how we all doing? Today we're going to be talking about 5 of my favorite mods that I usually add into GTA 5 every time I get bored. I finish the story or I'm playing online, I'm like, you know what, I'm getting tired of getting griefed or whatever, then I just hop on offline and I play with this mods. This mod kind of changes how the game functions but does not really affect graphics or cops or something like that. So it's like something added on top of GTA that's never in GTA, that was created by fans and people who like modding. We're going to be talking about the gang, the mob, phone missions, so it's a little bit different compared to the rest, and then we have lockpicking. This one's not really that big but it changes the aspect of stealing a car and what you think about it. And then we have Vlad's export garage. This one's about stealing cars and stuff like that. Let's start with the first one, the gang. The gang is a modded it's a mod in GTA 5 that allows you to do multiple things. Let's say it's limited to time depending on the time you call. So you call a person called Jay. Jay will give you different jobs depending on the time of the day. If you call him between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. you go around biking with friends and do different missions. If it's either to bust down someone, steal from them or something like that. Something
Sorry ass punk. Motherfucker! The motherfucker's down,
Time to get down and dirty.
And then if you have to call from 2 p.m. all the way to 8 p.m. then you go around shopping for items, basically do different missions in terms of shopping, basically just with your gang. So it's just like a family gang thing that you do together.
You don't end up like me, paralyzed, even dead. Hey, I need to grab some of them Aris classes.
Man, I
It
know,
ain't the
right?
game it used to see, homie.
Hey, let's meet up next
My
week.
main man, Frank, green for life.
Hey, you looking good,
doing
Frank.
way too much. I bust a gang of bitches for this motherfucker right here.
And then from 8 p.m. all the way to 2 a.m. you brawl between boys. So you basically, you and your boys pull up on another game that maybe you have beef with or something else is going on that you're like, you know what, we gotta settle this. If you're to call Jay between 8 p.m. and 2 a.m. that's when you get those kind of missions. So it's not specifically one mission but it's multiple missions, but you're basically fighting other gangs. And then last but not least we have from 2 a.m. all the way to 8 a.m. Now this one's a little bit different. This one you steal cars from people. You literally go ahead, look for a gang that maybe you like the car that they have or something like that. You go ahead, steal it from them, you try and escape the cops after, and then you have the car. Next one is the mob. The mob and the gang is a little bit different because the mob is specifically going for a mafia type of feeling inside the game. What do I mean by this? Instead of doing gang activities, now you're dealing with more bag delivery, basically moving money, rival gang truck, whatever. You can shoot people, it's up to you. It's GTA 5, we expect to shoot people. So that's the difference between the mob and the gang. The gang, mostly gang related. The mob is like a mafia scenario type. type. And then the next one, we're talking about the new street phone missions. If you play GTA 1 or GTA 2, you'd remember that we used to have phone missions where you walk up on a phone and be like, hey man, I would like you to do this mission, can you help me out, something like that, something cool. So every phone has different missions depending on locations and stuff like that. You have so many missions. Let me explain to you how many missions you have. You have trucking, getaway driver, packages, convicts, Fubar. Basically you're an Uber but Fubar, so that you don't get sued. We have pilot, we have ambulance, we have following, we have LSPD. Basically following is kind of weird because you follow a suspect around. You can be a cop, you can be Johnny, where you deliver players or NPCs around the city. You can move, you can do a lot of things. So this one has a lot of things added into it, where different phones give you different missions in which can change how you play the game and what kind of missions you do, unless you're just playing around for fun. For fun. So we just got done with the new street phone missions. Now we're talking about lockpicking. Lockpicking is very good in terms of someone who wants to add this feeling of, oh, I'm trying to steal a car, I'm trying to have fun, but at the same time I don't want it to be easy. So you practice around until you perfect it. The more you do it, the better you get at it, until you perfect where you're able to lockpick a car very quick compared to most people. So it's kind of a fun thing added on top of the game, especially when you add lockpicking on top of like mob or the gang mod where you have to steal cars and stuff like that. Adds that feeling of, I need to lockpick this car like you would in real life. So it's kind of a fun thing to add on top of the game. And then last but not least, the fifth mod, we have Vlad's Export Garage. Now Vlad's Export Garage is close to the gang mod where you go ahead and steal cars, but this one is mostly stealing cars. Depending on what car he tells you to, you can find it in different locations in the city. So if you find a luxury car, you can be like, hey man, I would like a luxury car. So you would have to go to places like Chumash, or you would have to go to, what do you call it, rich places that you would find expensive cars. So you can even find DLC cars usually that are not offline. So you can literally find a car that's usually online in GTA offline, so that you move it and sell it to him. Now depending on how good you do the job, the more money you get paid. So it's the same thing as the first one, but this time you're mostly dealing specifically with cars. You go into a garage, you knock, he's like, hey man, I want this car be stolen and give it to me. You basically just transport it to him. And remember this, sometimes you're going to end up having to shoot people because maybe they have the car that you want or something like that. So it's kind of a fun thing added on top of the game if you'd like to play with something like that. With that being said, those are my 5 favorite mods that I recommend anyone who's bored with GTA Offline or even GTA Online to add into their game and have fun. If you want a graphic mod, the one I would recommend is NVE, not sponsored. NVE is one of the best mods you could add for graphics. The only thing that sucks about NVE is the fact that you have to pay. It's not cheap. It's like $10 I think per month, but as soon as you get the mod, you could just go ahead and cancel your subscription and you're good to go. Don't forget to subscribe as we're shooting for 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Peace out.